I know this is going to be hard to believe given the last few days, but Xbox has had yet another leak. Guess what? This time it is for that long rumored handheld. That's right. We actually got a peek at some details from videocards with a Z.com, and it's being reported widely by everybody. Here's a really nice looking post out of all of them. The new Xbox handheld Project Keenan has been leaked. The device is a collaboration between Microsoft and Asus. Now, I've talked a lot about how this is going to be the next big iteration that Microsoft brings forward, and it seems like Video Cards has gotten their hands on a dirty looking model of the particular unit being released via some FCC filing to the US side of things, via an Indonesian certification office. Here's what they have. This website scared me to open, but here we go. ROGLI2. There's a lot of ads on it. And they have some technical spec breakdown for the different versions of the machine. I kind of broke this out into a very easy to read format. The news comes from 91 Mobiles via an Indonesian certification, which linked them to a US FCC listing. Now, according to this website, there are two editions. There is a black edition, which seems to be a higher end version, and has a 7-inch, 120 hertz display. It features Ryzen Z2 Extremes with 8 cores. It has a TDP of 36 watts and 64 gigabytes of LPDDR5 8533 memory. The white edition, however, has a 4-core Ryzen AMD Aerith Plus, the successor to the Steam Deck processor, with 20 watts of TDP. There are 2 USB Type-C connectors on top, and that is all via videocards.com. So we have talked a lot about this. The first iteration of the Xbox handheld is going to be via a partnership with Asus. So this is going to be their first foray into gaming, and Asus even had a big sort of promotional tease where they talked about, we have a big thing coming. It's with a big partner like Microsoft, and we're going to tell you a little bit more. Now, somebody on Twitter seems to have released all these images, even video cards linked to 94G8LA, who had some of the tech specs that were found out about what is actually on board of this particular unit, and they've posted it all over online. They've also posted some photos of the unit. So I don't know why it's so dirty. Like, why is it so dirty? Did they pull it? Did they make it themselves? And then is this like the technical unit that they prototyped or something? Anyway, so here is the unit itself. You can see some measurements here. It is about 30 inches wide. I'm accounting for the negative space on the side. And 14 inches, or is that centimeters? I don't know. 30 by 14 something. And then we get a look at the profile here. It does look like there are 2 USB slots on top. I wonder if that's so you can have an adapter and be charging at the same time. It looks like there is a card slot here for some sort of expandable storage, volume buttons, power buttons here. I'm not quite sure. Those just look like vents. It's got your traditional bumper with trigger. You got your Xbox buttons here with your D-pad and the regular buttons that you would see on the front. Here's a look at the white unit in question. Again, your standard buttons here. You got D-pad offset sticks with the Xbox branding all over the place. And there's a look at the back. It does look official to me. Now, I know sometimes we see these things and we're like, oh, I don't know how legitimate it is, but if somebody is posting pictures all over the internet and breaking this news, I have to imagine that it is going to be true. Now, the bigger question that I have is, what does next gen look like for Microsoft? We already know that they are a top publisher on PlayStation and, believe it or not, on the Switch. They've regularly broken through to be a top publisher on both of those platforms. I do have to wonder, though, what their take on the next console looks like. I think the handheld is a smart move. We've seen the Steam Deck be quite successful. I have to imagine that this would probably be very interesting to people to look to get into PC gaming on a budget, and it offers you gaming on the go. So I think people would be excited about that aspect of it. But I do wonder, however, whether or not their console business is going to see the same success. So long story short, if you've been paying attention, Xbox has basically announced that Gears of War, the reloaded version of the game, which is a remake of the original, is going to be coming to the PlayStation 5. We know that Forza is already on the PlayStation 5, and we're all imagining at this point that Halo is next, and we're going to see a lot more of the classic Xbox library go multi-platform. So while a handheld like this one that Jez Corden is posting and reporting on, are interesting, and I think they'll do well in the handheld market, I do have to wonder what the next gen console market looks like for them, simply because they have put a de-emphasis on the console market. They've increased the price of their consoles to the point where the best Xbox that you can buy, the Xbox Series X with 2 terabytes and such, is now priced higher than the PlayStation 5 Pro, at least for the next several days. So I think the handheld is the right play. I think a partnership like this is really smart. Hopefully it comes with something like a Xbox Game Pass service, and I think that would make it a little bit more enticing. But what would the next gen console look like? I think maybe they have a partner, or they make it modular so that you can upgrade the same way that all of us PC gamers have been upgrading for years. But if it has a layer to it that gives you access to Xbox Game Pass and potentially more flexibility, here's my theory about what they will do. I think they're going to release some sort of PC-like device that is upgradable. I think that will allow them to partner with things like Steam, things like Epic Game Store. Phil Spencer's already confirmed the Epic Game Store partnership idea in many interviews. I believe that was with Tom Warren of The Verge. And long story short, if that happens, that means PlayStation games end up on your next-gen PC, aka console, aka Xbox, and you get PlayStation games on your Xbox. So that's been my theory. That's their Trojan horse. That's what I think their big play is. And a lot of people thought I was crazy. And then more and more of these stories keep coming out that seem to lend to the idea that this could possibly be true. So the handheld story is interesting. We have gotten our first look at whatever this thing is going to wind up being. And I do have to imagine Asus is going to make an announcement sooner rather than later. This is the ROG Ally 2 from Asus. If you haven't been paying attention, let me see if I can, they probably don't tweet that much, right? Because they just had the teaser trailer for this not that long ago. I remember reporting on it on this very channel. And let's just take a look here, because here is their official account. And not that long ago, they were tweeting a little video about their next handheld. Basically, here is the ROG Ally currently. And then if we take a look back at what the new version looks like, it is basically the new version with Xbox buttons on it. But yeah, earlier in the year, here's the promotional teaser that I was referencing, where they were teasing some big announcement with Microsoft. And it does look like that reveal is going to be coming probably during their big showcase, I have to imagine. They'll be like, and we have the ROG Ally partner handheld thing right here for you all to look at. So time will tell what comes of this, but that is our first look at the spec. And to just recap real quick, those specs are 2 editions, one black, one white. The black edition has a 7-inch 120 hertz display. It features Ryzen Z2 Extreme with 8 cores, a TDP of 36 watts, and 64 gigabytes of LPDDR5 8533 memory. I don't know what that means. I assume it's good. And there is a 4-core version in white. It is AMD Aerith Plus, which is the successor to the Steam Deck, and a 20 watts TDP. Both of them have 2 USB Type-C connectors on top, and that is via videocards.com. Good scoop, Video Cards. Congrats. I'll be linking to them in the description below so you can read the story for yourself. Thanks for watching, everybody. I do appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell to know when my content goes live. Are you interested in an Xbox handheld right now, or at least a partnered handheld like this one? Let me know in the comments. A big shout out to all the members: Christopher Eddy, Inner Machine, Philaroni, Spingetter, and Aries EMS. I do greatly appreciate you very much. If you want to become a member, you can click that join button, or you can support at patreon.com/SaveStatePlus. I'm going to get out of here, but if you want to check out my last video where I talk about the Xbox price increase, you can check that out in the lower corner here, and I'll see you for the next one. Bye for now, everybody.